Rangers are on the edge of major change. Kevin Muscat's closing in on the Ibrox job with secret deals already in motion. Kevin Thelwell's under serious pressure as bizarre transfers and backroom hires cause chaos behind the scenes. Darren Bent sparked fury, claiming championship managers wouldn't touch Rangers. And now Nicholas Raskin looks ready to force a January exit with Besiktas circling. Go on then, hit that like button, because as always, you're getting proper top quality info right here. The international break might have calmed the pitch, but behind the scenes, things at Ibrox are heating up like a pot of tatty soup left too long on the hob. Kevin Muscat, that name again, is now the hot favorite to become the next Rangers boss, with none other than Fabrizio Romano confirming it in his Give Me Sport newsletter after Steven Gerrard gave it the old thanks but no thanks, leaving the board dangling like a washing line in a storm. Muscat's been propelled into pole position. Gerrard's rejection stung a bit. Let's be honest, you had the sense the prodigal son might return, but instead, we're looking at a man who's grafted his managerial career across Australia, Japan, and now China, where he's on the brink of winning the title with Shanghai Port. 65% win rate there, by the way. Not bad. Word is, he's already got his backroom blueprint drawn up, with Neil McCann ready to slot in beside him. And here's the juicy bit. McCann and Muscat supposedly had a secret pact in place years ago for just this sort of moment. Romantic in a Rangers way, but it's no love story. We're talking about proper Govan grit. Derek Ferguson even says McCann might steer the ship until Muscat wraps up the Chinese league. Now, there's still a hefty compensation package to sort out with Shanghai Port, a big wedge of cash. But if the Rangers board are serious about fixing this mess and restoring fear in opponents who've started seeing Ibrox as a free hit, they better not penny pinch. Let's be real here. Since Gerrard left the first time, it's been one managerial disaster after another. From Gio to Beale to Clement to Russell Martin, it's been a carousel of mediocrity. Muscat, though, he's no stranger to the club, and more importantly, he's no stranger to winning. The type who walks into a dressing room and demands standards, not selfies. Now, here's what I want to ask you, and you tell me honestly. Would you be comfortable waiting until late November for Muscat to arrive if it means finally getting a proper Rangers man back in the dugout? Or has this whole circus already dragged on too long? If you needed any more proof that English football types still don't understand the scale and stature of Rangers, have a wee listen to Darren Bent's latest outburst. The former striker, now turned professional talker, has claimed that Kieran McKenna, the Ipswich town boss, would never leave Portman Road for Ibrox. According to Bent, not only would McKenna say no, but most championship managers would knock Rangers back without a second thought. That's no just disrespect. It's pure ignorance dressed up as analysis. Let's break this down. McKenna's done well. Fair play to him, a couple of tidy promotions, decent football, and he's got Ipswich playing with purpose. But let's not pretend he's reinvented the game. He's been managing in League One and the Championship, not exactly a crucible of European glory. And Bent, he says the idea of McKenna choosing Rangers is nuts. Andy Goldstein chimed in too, echoing the same nonsense. These two clearly don't get it. Clearly don't. We're talking about a club with a European pedigree, a colossal fan base, and more history than most English clubs could ever dream of. We fill Ibrox every week. We've played in a European final more recently than half the Premier League. Yet apparently Ipswich is the more appealing job. If McKenna turned down Rangers, fine, that's his call. But let's not act like it's because Rangers don't measure up. Maybe he's comfortable where he is. Maybe he wants to stay in England. But to suggest Rangers are beneath a championship job, that's a slap in the face to you, to everyone who bleeds blue, and to everything Ibrox represents. And here's the kick here. If you're a manager who backs himself. You come to Rangers because of the pressure, the expectation, the demand to win every week. McKenna would have had the chance to write his name into the fabric of a true footballing institution. Do you agree with Bent and Goldstein that the Rangers' job is now below championship level? Or have we just been disrespected by two clueless pundits who've never set foot in Ibrox on a European night? Pressure's mounting at Ibrox, and this time it's not just on the dugout. Kevin Thelwell, the sporting director who strolled in from Everton with a polished CV and a few promises under his arm, is now firmly in the firing line, and let's not sugarcoat it, his start at Rangers has been nothing short of a disaster. You've seen it with your own eyes. Russell Martin, Thelwell's hand-picked man, lasted all of 17 matches before getting the bullet. A tactical experiment gone wrong, served with a side of baffling substitutions and post-match interviews that sounded like fortune cookies. And now, as we try to pick up the pieces, you're left looking at Thelwell and asking, what exactly has he brought to Govan apart from chaos? Let's talk transfers. £8 million dropped on Youssef Shamiti, a striker who hasn't found the net in 24 matches, not 24 minutes, 24 games. And then there's Nasser Jiga, straight from the Wolves network, who's done little more than pick up a red card and get caught out of position more often than a daft laddie playing five-a-sides. This isn't some long-term strategy unfolding. This is scattergun stuff, like trying to win the Grand National with a Shetland pony. And it gets worse. He brought in Dan Purdy, another Everton connection, fine, but then he went and hired his own son as head of recruitment at Ibrox at a time when every penny counts and every decision is under scrutiny. You're giving the job to your bairn. That's the kind of carry-on you'd expect at Celtic Park. No here. Now, the Herald claims that despite all this, Thelwell still has the backing of the 49ers group and Andrew Kavanagh. Aye, for now. But how long can you keep clinging to that if results don't turn? So here's the question for you. How can Rangers claim to be a serious modern football club when the sporting director is hiring his own son and signing players based on old pals' networks instead of actual scouting? Here we go again, another player edging towards the exit door at Ibrox, and this time it's Nicholas Raskin, a lad who came in with so much promise, seen as the heartbeat of our midfield for years to come, now apparently packing his bags for Istanbul. The Belgians had a rocky old season. Let's not kid ourselves. He was frozen out under Russell Martin, with only 4 starts in the league. For a player who should have been dictating the tempo at Ibrox, he ended up watching most of it from the bench while the team unraveled. And now, Turkish giants Besiktas are circling. And it sounds like this isn't just paper talk. Word out of Turkey is that Raskin's agent is already in contact with the Besiktas board, and a meeting's being lined up with Rangers to finalize a deal. They're hoping their previous deal for Ridvan Yilmaz will grease the wheels using the same channels to get this one over the line. And Raskin himself? Apparently he's keen. That says it all. Now, here's the part that's sticking in my craw. This is a player who just a few months ago was being linked with Premier League clubs, proper moves, but now he's willing to jump ship to the Turkish Super League, which, let's be honest, isn't exactly a massive step up. That doesn't sound like ambition, it sounds like escape. And let's be clear, Raskin's not blameless here. He's had attitude problems at times, but when he's on it, you can see the quality. And if Kevin Muscat is indeed coming in, you'd hope he gets the chance to sit down with Raskin and sort it out face-to-face. No agents, no politics, just football men talking sense. Because this isn't just about Raskin, it's about the message it sends. If we start letting talented players walk out the door in January to clubs like Besiktas, what does that say about the direction we're heading in? So here's what I want to ask you. If Raskin really wants out, should Rangers force him to stay and fight for his place under a new manager? Or is it time we stop begging players to wear the shirt and only keep those who truly want to be at ibrox? Comment below what you think about the news. I post videos every day talking about our Rangers, so if you're not subscribed, you're missing out on the latest news. See you soon!